Hey, how you doing?
Hi. How are you? Extremely sunburnt, but still making it. How's everyone doing today? This is the episode that you've all been waiting for. We were live from Atlanta all weekend long, and so now it's time for the actual podcast. Had a heck of a time. Got extremely sunburnt, toasty, as they say, but we had a phenomenal time. What do you say, Andy?
Oh, that was a fantastic weekend. Um, I don't know how much you remember from it because you were shotgunning quite a few beers.
I remember 90% of it, sir. Thank you very much. The
What about
first
the
day,
last couple hours?
yeah. So the first day, like 100%, I got. The second day, I forgot to eat this thing called lunch, or really any food at all.
I made you
Uh,
peanut butter jelly sandwich.
yeah, that got eaten half of it by someone else. I only got
Wasn't
to eat
me.
half of it, and then
Wasn't
someone
me.
stole it and ate it.
Wasn't me.
Yeah, but
I know who it was.
exactly. I had 3 pieces of bacon, 3 scrambled eggs, and half a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and that was my
That
entire.
sounds like breakfast, lunch, and dinner for me for like 3 days straight.
Yeah, because you're a stick figure. I am very robust. I am a very well-rounded individual, sir.
Yes, you are. Do
But
you
no,
know
we
that every time you moved around on the school bus, it would rock like this side to side and then front to back? And it was like if you're down in the bottom, like going to the bathroom, if you're sitting down on the toilet,
mhm.
and particularly, it's not fun.
It's its own drunk test. It works out perfectly to find out how good your balance is. But
Sir, you were drunk Sunday night.
Sunday, yeah, I didn't eat a lot, and it was 20, 22, I think is what we counted. But I mean, let's talk
Were
about the
you keeping
thing.
count at all?
I mean, I can count now, but the time
you
definitely
you
couldn't.
couldn't count, you couldn't talk.
I, we walked all the way to where the drivers walk out from behind Atlanta to go to their privacy haulers, and I walked probably 3 miles in not a straight line, just zigzag the entire way there. So it was probably 3 miles for me to actually get there. But we got to talk about why, and you need to barbecue him a meal. He was
He
supposed to,
he takes
but
care of that himself.
yeah. Well, see, when I was busy up there, we got to talk about why I drank so much beer because it wasn't just the race, right? We got a million likes on our TikTok live over the weekend. I think if we add everything up together, it's a little over 2 million likes across the live streams during the race for both basically all weekend. So I mean, Xfinity races, truck race, and then Cup race, as well as breakfast, and then going in the garage. You got some great live footage from the garage. I mean, it was a heck of a time. We had a bunch of people in there. Everyone was enjoying it. We were egging them on. It was every 50,000 likes. That's how many likes we were getting so fast that we had to make it a high thing. So we got Bristol coming up next. I can't really do the same thing there because there's no way I can get that much beer in. But Bristol is the next one that we're going to be live from. If you miss this one, don't miss that one.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. Now,
Sure.
I, unfortunately, like you said, we're not gonna be able to bring that much beer in, so we're gonna have to choose when we shotgun a beer
Hmm.
wisely and
Yeah.
conserve when we can.
But the good news is we're going to have cold beer. But thanks to our sponsors over at Kanga Coolers, which, talking about them, we have the Gibson. You put the entire 12 pack in the cooler, zip it up, and take it in with you. It's
Wait,
down.
wait, wait. I can't figure that
You're
out.
backwards. It's
Yeah,
mirrored. It's
yeah,
it's
it's right there.
that way, there at the bottom. Use code FASTCAR10. Go check them out. They have koozies, they have hard koozies, they got the coolers for the 12 packs, they got everything. We also should have a link. I don't know. You got it in the description, Andy?
Probably not.
Killing the smalls, killing me. But we also have a link too. But yeah, go to
No,
Kanga
yeah, it's
Cooler.
in there.
It's in there. Perfect. So that link, if you click on it, you can go straight to the site. It automatically links it to us. That's a way that y'all can support us. And that's how we're going to bring a full 12 pack into Bristol. And it's going to stay cold during the entire race because, these other coolers, you can only fit like 6 to 8 in there. Jello shots, quick and easy. It's a good thought. It's a good thought. We could stack up a lot of Jello shots. Hmm.
You're going to just take advantage of the Jello itself.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong on
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah.
It should be a fun time though. We'll figure it out. But yeah, our friends at Kanga are definitely gonna make sure we have cold beer for the race. Maybe cold Jello shots. We'll have to look. That's pretty. Do those little plastic ones. We can stack up a whole bunch. So
You can stack up a whole bunch.
yeah, true, true. So what we need is for like those beer snakes that you see at some of the football games. That's what just beer can snake it all the way up to the spotters up on the
You know,
roof.
if you wear one of those beer hats that's got a beer can on each side, that's 2 more beers you're bringing in.
That's true. That's true. And I can I'll stuff them down through my design my pants to hold a couple more beers in there as well. But
Nobody will ever know.
they'll never know.
You can
Never.
hide one up under here on each side.
That it would warm them up too much. That's a heater. It'd be melted cans by the time we got there.
It'll keep you cool.
Definitely keep it cool. Definitely keep it
Hey,
cool.
you know what I thought of? When
What?
you were starfishing on the bed Sunday night, if I had some pink spray paint, you would have ended up looking like Patrick Starr.
It would have been that way because I remember I got in there and I probably busted my ass in the bathroom a good 4 or 5 times, and then I made it to the back and I had half the body on the bed, half the body on the ground. It was
You know, what's
great.
also crazy to me is I wasn't gone that long in the garage. And when I left, you were still a functioning person.
Oh yeah, stone cold sober. Well, you gotta think there was 10 laps left in the race. We were only at 700,000 likes at that moment. It was like
What?
750,000 likes. Yeah. So from 10 laps to go to the finish of the race
You got 250,000 of likes in 10 laps?
in 10 laps. Literally, there's 2 laps to go, and we were at 900,000. And
Get
so
the
I was
fuck
like, I
out of
don't think
here.
they can do it. I really did not think that they were going to make it happen. And literally,
That explains a lot now.
yeah,
I didn't know that.
yeah, and as Joey's doing his burnout, that's when we hit 1 million. And so I had made the deal too that if we got 1 million likes, I would take my shirt off. It was cold in Atlanta, guys, and so I just immediately just whoop, right off with the shirt, and then I had to catch up because we literally went from 800 to 1 million so quick that I couldn't even get 2 beers in time. So I had to take my shirt off and then chug the final 2 beers back to back. That way I could catch back up to the million. And then we were full caught up, and we got to 1.1. So we ended up technically, I guess I do owe 2 more beers because that's 1,100,000. But that was an insane weekend. I never thought we'd see 500,000, but the Xfinity race we had hit 700,000, and I
Yeah.
knew it was a possibility that night.
Wake up.
But
You're frozen on my screen. There you go. So 500,000 for the Xfinity race. The truck race did better than I thought it was.
yeah,
Let's kind of talk about that truck race real quickly.
yeah,
I think now the cup race there was some boring segments there in the cup race. But as far as the truck race goes, I thought it was one of the, if not a very close tie with
yeah.
the cup race as far as excitement.
So I think this is where it comes into the difference between being there and watching it on TV.
Yeah.
Because everyone that watched it on TV and even the drivers were like, this was boring. The trucks, excuse me, and the Xfinity was a sheet show with all the wrecks and stuff. I mean, these were some long races. Other than the Cup, the other two went the distance as far as TV times lengths. And we definitely being there, it was a whole different thing. I didn't care about how long it took. There was 3 wide action happening all over the place during the truck race that I really did not think they would do. So I really enjoyed the truck race sitting there on top of the bus. We were having a great time anyway, though. So maybe I'm skewed in that, or maybe we're skewed in that. I don't know.
I don't know if it was just the reconfiguration of the track for one, but it just seemed like the package for the truck race was really good as far
Yeah.
as aero wise and everything. It definitely um I was sober for that race, so I could pay attention to it, and it was it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Now the Xfinity race, on the other hand, there was obviously we'll get to Josh Williams here in a little bit, but that first stage, that was rough, man. I don't know about you.
Sorry, we
That's
got.
Mason. Hello, Mason.
Can you wave at Andy?
Hello, Mason.
We'll go back to Mama. There you go. Love you, boy. Yeah, so the truck race was awesome. The Xfinity race, well, first truck race, we definitely had the winner too. So X, if people didn't get to watch the race, X ended up winning that race. It was a good race to the end. But yeah, the Xfinity race.
Did you figure out how to say his name yet?
Ekis,
Yeah, there you go.
I can't do it. I just can't do
Ikis.
it. Ekis.
Ekis.
Yeah, no, I just feel like it's an egghead or something. I don't know. But yeah, the Xfinity race, the reason I think we were able to get to 720,000 likes is because of that first stage took 7 years. There was a ton of cautions during that. But I liked the racing when there was racing. They were
it was a fantastic race when they were actually
Yeah.
green flag racing, no cautions. When they got that first stage out of the way and kind of, I wouldn't say settled in because it was still some dicey racing no matter what. I thought once it got settled in enough that they put on a heck of a show.
Yeah, I mean, Xfinity cars are kind of known for being more the driver's car, where they have to actually be controlled, where the cups are planted. I mean, all weekend long, the cups were suctioned to the track. Ever since they've done this new car, it's been about this way, where Xfinity has been, hey, if you can control it, you can win. But I think a lot of them, the inexperience showed a lot in the Xfinity race, where you have no practice and you go straight in with a bunch of new timers in the Xfinity race, and that's why I think the constant cautions were coming out, that carousel, because they didn't understand, taking that air off of them, you would lose the entire back end. If you get right reared, gone.
Yeah, I mean, we saw during qualifying for the Cup race, since
Yeah.
that was the only qualifying session they were able to have because of the weather on Friday.
Yeah.
There was multiple cars that spun out, just
Yeah.
lost control. Christopher Bell was one of them.
I think Ty Gibbs. Ty Gibbs was one of the other ones.
Ty Gibbs was the other one.
Yeah, and
And
they
there
were
may have been
talking about it.
somebody. Didn't BJ McLeod have an issue as well?
Yeah, very first one out. He spun
Yeah.
3 going into 4. And
Yeah.
they were
So I
talking.
mean, that track, I think it was the weather more than anything, just a cold track, not a lot of grip.
Well, they said the
May have had
top
a
was
lot to do
dirty.
with it. But yeah, I think the Xfinity guys kind of underestimated, the grip level going into the race because there was no on-track time at all.
No,
Um,
not at
so
all.
I think they underestimated it and just kind of drove in over their heads to start with.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what led to it. And of course, I think NASCAR had some issues themselves. That there was a 3-car wreck. And I'm just going through social media reading this stuff, but there was like a 3-car wreck, and it took like 6 or 7 laps for them to get cleaned up. Like, that's unacceptable.
Yeah, that was that turns 3 and 4 wreck when they had to put the quick dry down, and then they had to come back and reapply the quick dry. The top of the track, a lot of the drivers were complaining about how dirty the top of the track was, and that was.
Oh, you could see it just where we were. Anybody that was in that very top lane, you could see the dust being kicked up.
Yeah, and so I mean, you already take a narrow track where everyone talks about how narrow Atlanta is, and then you take away up against the wall because of it being dirty, dusty, and all the other stuff. I mean, you take away all that and you put it into this finished product. Yeah, it's gonna hurt the drivers out there, and that's kind of what I think came to a boiling point, and that's where this whole mullet man uh, 95 action happened with Josh Williams, where he had some I can't remember, gripper tape, or I can't remember the name of the actual
Bear
tape.
bond.
Yeah, and it's cold, so it doesn't stick very well. So they try to torch it, get it heated up, but the car's cold. It's cold out. It doesn't even make it past him coming out of the pits, and it comes off, I believe, in turn 1 or turn 2. And
Yeah, it was actually right in front of us. I remember seeing it.
yes, it was right there. And instead of NASCAR waving off the go, they went ahead and went green, and it was literally 1 lap, and saw it, and then all of a sudden called the caution. And I think just NASCAR was tired of all the constant cautions and stuff, that they singled him out and told him, "Hey, go park it." And he parked it. It just wasn't
Sure enough,
where they anticipated them to park it.
I thought it was great. Way
I
to
mean,
stick it to the man.
he picked up a ton of fans. I think they said like his Twitter grew by 8,000 followers by the end of the night, and
Yeah,
I would believe it.
yeah,
The
I
dude's a
would too.
dude's a
He
legend.
had that image.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, he sat there and did the hearts, did the peace back to the tower. I mean, the dude was having a great time, and he was fed up about it.
Did
But
you listen to any of the podcasts this week, like Door Bumper Clear with him on it?
I did.
I,
I did.
I haven't listened to Door Bumper Clear yet, but I did listen to obviously Actions Detrimental because that's the best podcast in my opinion right now.
Yeah.
But I I think I think that he has gained a lot of fans from what had happened, but he was putting it more as we've got sponsors and we're a small team, we're underfunded, all this other stuff. So like for NASCAR just to tell us to park it, that really hurts us.
Yeah.
It's not like an Alex Bowman out there with Ally. Everybody knows who Ally is.
Yeah.
He's trying to make his brand recognizable and known. And if you're being parked just because debris come off your car, that's a low call. And I know NASCAR was
Yeah.
frustrated with it and everything, but
Especially when it was bare bond. I mean, you're talking about basically 3x3 duct tape.
well,
And
it's just like Denny had said, it's cold. That stuff has to be heated up to even stick to the car. So if
yep.
it's 30 degrees outside, which it was
Yeah.
frigid.
Hey, with a wind,
That stuff doesn't stick. So like,
they're going
where's
fast.
where's the leniency? Where's the leniency from NASCAR on that situation?
And I think it's just they were fed up. They were fed up with all the
Of
caution.
course,
And he parks the car in the he parks the car there, and that extends the caution even longer too, because they were supposed to be one to go when he parked there, and then they had to bring a wrecker out to tow his car to the back. And
it
on
was
top
great.
of it, they made him go to freaking get checked out at the medical center. He wasn't even in a wreck when that part happened. He was in the wreck earlier, but that's not what caused him
Right,
to be out of the car.
right.
So I mean, it
Did
was
you hear how he said that, he got called to the trailer, so he went to the trailer.
yeah.
He sat down in there and he asked, "Well, can I change?"
Mm-hmm.
They're like, "No."
Nope.
"Can you or can
Pick
I
up a
get something
backpack.
to eat?" Or yeah, yeah, none of that stuff.
Nope.
And he was like, "Well, there were still 140 laps to go." So he was in there for a while.
Yeah, it was I want to say it was like an hour after the race he finally got out. So he was in there for a very good time. Did give him pizza though. So I mean, hey, they looked after the chunky boy. But yeah,
After he declined it.
yeah. What was funny is they were talking. He was talking about it was they called everybody basically. So the crew chief, the owner, him. They did not call the spotter, and the spotter got off scot free from it, which is I think is just hilarious with the whole incident and ordeal. But the dude's awesome. He does a lot of charity work, and he finally put out his shirt. I don't know if you've seen it, but he's got
Oh,
his
he's gonna be
shirt
selling
out.
some merch.
Yeah, and all the proceeds are going to the hospital thing. He goes and visits hospitals. He does the Ryan Seacrest Hospital Fund thing, and every sale from his shirt is going towards that. So he's going to have a donation for me. I've already ordered mine earlier today. I
I
think,
saw the yeah, I saw the email.
yeah, I thought it was hilarious. So I was like, I got to get one of these. But
Yeah.
the dude, he's definitely cemented himself to be memorable for a long, long time. And hopefully they can race back for him. Hopefully he gets the waiver because he was talking about, this team, they have to race towards being top 20 in points.
Oh
That
yeah,
way they can
that's a
pay.
big monetary thing
Yeah.
too.
Because they got to be able to pay for for offseason, get them through to the next year. This isn't a big team like you were talking about. This is a
Do you
small.
find it funny how, before the penalties were announced that Denny went on Twitter as soon as, he was parked essentially and said, "I'll pay your fines."
Yeah.
When NASCAR they didn't do any monetary fines, they actually parked him for a race. Do you find any, comedy in that at all? Because I think it's hilarious that NASCAR is being that petty about it. Like, "Oh, we got a driver openly saying that we're gonna pay his fine.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, it's somebody that just got fined the week before."
Yeah.
So like
I don't think they took that into consideration. I think they took into the fact that he said on pit road when they told him that he has to go to the medical tent, he said no and walked over to start doing the interview. The official said you have to go, and he said, quote unquote, "What are they gonna do? Fine me? I can't pay it." And that's the part that Denny said, "Okay, I'm gonna step in. I'm gonna pay it if it's a thing. So just
yeah.
let me know what it's gonna be." So I think they decided not to fine him as NASCAR because they knew that he couldn't pay it. Like, there was no way for him to pay it. And so
I
that
don't
part wasn't
know.
going
I
to
mean,
penalize
you
him.
got plenty of people in NASCAR, working behind the scenes and had to have seen the tweet that Denny said, "I'll pay your fine." So,
Yeah, but
like,
they also got to understand that they told him to park it for a BS
it
reason.
just,
Opinion.
I know, and it's just to me, it's the pettiest call to
Mhm.
be able to suspend somebody for one race because they stuck it to you by just
Mhm.
parking on the start finish line. Like, was that detrimental? I, I,
But I do get it though, because if they don't do something, some penalty for this, then if it happens in the future and it's someone doing something stupid rather than what happened here, then they have no basically they have nothing to look back on and go, hey, this is what we
yeah.
did last time someone did something like this. So they
Oh,
have to
I'm not
fair
disagreeing at all on that. I
yeah,
mean, they have to set they NASCAR has to set a
presidents.
precedence
Yeah,
for, whatever it is. I just find it funny that they suspend Bubba Wallace for confronting Kyle Larson at Vegas last year
yeah.
and physically getting in an
I
altercation,
was
at
there
least
was
one
punches.
side of it. And then like I'm not comparing it, but it's just that was a suspension. Now here's a suspension for parking your car on the start finish line. Like that's just it's odd to me.
They come up with some weird stuff. There's some things where it's like, so you can do this and get this, but what? It's the same as all sports though. I mean, you got different things from all different things like NFL, where hey, this person got busted for drugs and he gets suspended for the entire year, but yet the dude that just beat his girlfriend half to pieces is 3 games and back.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing here, guys? So
Yeah.
I think that's just the nature of sports nowadays. Unfortunately, I think Josh, this for Josh is the biggest thing for him. He made a lot of money for
Oh,
his
for
sponsor.
sure.
He made a lot of money for his cause, which is going to be this the Seacrest Fund, and then also I think he got his name out there because I didn't know that much about him. I knew a little bit about him, but I didn't know much about him. Now I know a lot about him, and I'm definitely a fan.
I am positive that when Josh made the decision to park the car where he did, it wasn't in the front of his mind that this is going to get me exposure.
Yeah,
So it seems like it's going to be a good fit because, like you're saying, it's turned out to be a great story.
yep,
He's getting all this exposure. He was on NASCAR Race Hub tonight. I watched a
yep,
little bit of it. And then on top of all that, parking your car and all the cameras are right there on it. They're focusing on your sponsor. So
yep.
he probably got more TV time than he has in a long time.
Oh, for sure. And good old country boy got the mullet, man. The dude was flopping in
Yeah.
the wind.
I
Yeah,
know you're a fan now, aren't you?
yeah, I'm a fan now for sure.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. DGM, they also, I mean, small team, they that definitely helps them out for sure. So good job for DGM as well. Even though,
Speaking of two, of course, they're going to Coda this weekend, and
they
they've
are.
already announced that Alex LeBay is going to be the substitute driver. He's a heck of a road course racer. So
Yeah,
LeBay,
so I don't know too much about LeBay. I got to be honest there. When I heard the
he,
name, I
he's
was like,
he's
it's
been
familiar.
he's been a familiar name in the Xfinity series. Obviously, not a contender week in
Yeah.
and week out, but um, I do vividly remember multiple road course races that he's been in competing in, and yeah, I can't talk, I can't get it out. Competing for a top 10.
Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, that's awesome. I think the one part I do remember is I want to say he raced the race last year. I don't remember with who or anything, but I want to say he raced this race last year and did decent, from what I understand. Um,
I
as
can.
far as calling who's gonna do well at Coda this weekend, I mean, I kind of got I would say probably Smith, but I don't know. Austin has been a powerhouse basically all season long so far. But this is a road course. This is going to
Yeah,
equalize.
I don't know what to expect from Austin this weekend,
Yeah,
but
I think.
RCR has been pretty good on the road courses as recently in the Cup Series, so maybe some of that can transfer over in the Xfinity Series.
Yeah, for trucks, Bowman's racing in trucks, so I think that's going to be an interesting thing to watch. He obviously finished, I want to say, second last year in the Cup race. And what's funny for me is Bowman's racing in trucks. It's not for Hendrick because obviously Hendrick doesn't have a truck team, but it's a Hendrick.com car. So it's another Chevy team, but yeah, it's got Hendrick all over it. So I always think the Hendrick.com sponsorships are always pretty funny because there is only Hendrick and Cup.
Yeah, but now they're sponsoring not only the truck for Spire that Bowman's in,
Yep.
but
Call it car too.
Larson, Byron, and Bowman are all racing the Xfinity Series again this year, and Hendrick Cars is sponsoring that as well.
Yep, 88 cars and all. Yeah, I can't wait. I had completely forgotten talking about other people driving cars. I
Real
can't.
quickly,
What?
I don't want to interrupt you, but I was just looking up the results from last year at COTA. You know who
Yeah.
finished second to AJ Allmendinger?
Who?
Austin Hill.
Really? Okay. Well, then it could be him.
And LeBay finished 36th out of 38.
Oh, okay. So no,
But
he did race last year,
he
but it
had a
wasn't.
mechanical failure, so that's not on him.
Gotcha. Okay. So he did race there last year, so I do remember that part correctly. But yeah, no, I mean it's gonna be interesting. The road courses always to me are the big equalizer for NASCAR, and I'm really excited to see the new road course package and see how that works for taking that again the downforce off the car and see how it does for the Cup Series, how that translates and makes the racing hopefully better. But I mean, I think the big thing here is the star-studded crew that will be the Cup race. This has to be one of the most competitive NASCAR races ever.
It's up there. I mean, there was obviously years that we had the road course ringers, as they called them, Ron Fellows, Boris said, the names go on, that were really good at road course racing from their backgrounds. And a lot of Cup drivers back in the day were not good at road course racing. So it was very common to see these guys competing for wins. But this is a new car. This is a new age, and these are new drivers, and they have stepped up their road course game immensely. And
Yeah,
these road course ringers, per se, they, unless you're in a top team car, a top tier car, um, and has experience, years of experience in a cup
yeah.
car, I don't think they have any advantage at all.
I
Um,
don't know, man. They're
Yes,
probably
We've got Kimi Räikkönen,
yeah,
F1 champion. He's got experience at COTA. He's
yep,
won at COTA in an F1 car. I'm not writing him off.
yeah. He's the '07 F1
He will
champ
be contending in the top 15,
for
no
sure,
doubt.
and he's in
And
good equipment. That's the whole thing here. These guys are not at bad.
the
Well,
car won last year. The car
Connor
won that
Daly,
race last year.
yeah, I mean, Connor Daly is the only one not in good equipment here, and that's because he's with that money team. We'll see how that ends up working out for him, but he is a good race car driver. But yeah, you have the '07 F1 champ in Kimmy, you have the '09 champ in Jenson Button, and both of them are not racing in low tier cars. You got obviously Kimmy is in the Project 91, like you said, but then even though Rick Ware is the team for Jordan, it's actually basically put on by Stuart Haas, which is one of the best Ford teams out there. So you look at what they're in, and okay, you got two F1 champions and really good cars. Well, then you take an IMSA heavyweight like Jordan Taylor, and he's in the 9 car. I think Hendrick knows how to set up a road car, don't you? I mean, Bowman,
Jordan
Jay,
Taylor,
Larson,
Jordan Taylor could be a sleeper pick this weekend. I,
100% agree.
I would not be shocked to see him finish top 5. I
Yeah,
really would not.
100% agree with you there.
And it's his first ever start in a cup car.
It is. So that's
Not a
one big
next gen
equalizer.
cup period.
Yeah,
So for somebody who has all this experience, I don't I'm not writing him off at all. And going back to the development and everything of the Garage 56 car, he's a development driver for that. So
yep,
he knows his car already.
yep. And so does Kimmy because Kimmy was also with it. And then the last person is Jimmy Johnson, and he's in the race. So I mean, this is a star-studded. Just you got AJ Allmendinger, you got him, you got I mean all these road course Cup drivers that are already there. Which I think the road course Cup drivers have definitely solidified themselves as the years go on, and we add more road courses or we get more experience on the road courses at least.
Mhm.
To where I think it's going to be a freaking just knockdown, drag out, competitive race.
It is.
Hopefully, from start to
I
finish,
think it's going to be one of the best races of the year.
has to be because also that's not where all the stars end. even the booth is going to be stacked. You got Kurt Busch and Gunther from Haas's F1 team joining Mike Joy up there. I mean, what more could you want from a NASCAR race?
Yeah, I'm excited about this weekend. I mean, I loved this last weekend in person being in Atlanta, and it was a great race, mainly because we were there.
Yeah.
Had we had watched it on TV, I don't know how my feelings would be about it. But this weekend at COTA, I'm really looking forward to it. And I know there's a lot of crap from NASCAR fans about the Chicago Street Course race. I'm looking forward to that too. It's going to be an interesting race.
See, I'm 50-50. I don't know about Chicago yet. I
guarantee you it's going to be a crash fest.
Oh, for sure. And that's going to be the thing. Is this a one and done? Is the city, because obviously it changed mayors. So there's been some concern lately over traffic. It's always something. I don't know. I don't know if
we're
I'm
going on a tangent here.
Yet.
Yeah, we're going on a tangent here. Let's not discuss too much of Chicago just right now.
Sure. Well, let's discuss the one thing. I see that flag behind you, and I also noticed the hat you're wearing, and then my crispy little hat. We got some swag this weekend when we were at the race. I mean, big swag. Picked up a bunch of new hats. If y'all don't know that we are big flag people, well, where's that? He's a big flag person, as you can see behind them, as well as the bus. I'm a big hat person.
That's just a handful of them.
Yeah. So I did get a new flag. I got a Noah Gragson flag. I got a couple Melon Man hats. I got the clean Dale Jr. hat, as well as a Noah Gragson hat as well. And then I got 2 shirts, Jimmy Johnson and a Noah Gragson shirt. Very comfortable, very, very comfy. But talking about merch, you want to tell the people?
That we just made an order for hats. Those hats?
So for those of y'all that have seen our videos or watched us at lives or even all the podcasts till now, we've been wearing these hats. So me and Andy came up with this hat last year, beginning of last year. I don't even remember. I was playing around with some editing, and I kind of made up the design. And then Andy was like, "Here, let me see what I can get him a hat." And we got 3 hats made originally.
4.
Or 4. 4, yeah, 4 hats made originally. And we never, we thought about, hey, maybe sell them one day, possibly. We weren't sure. And so this year, what we did is we just reordered them. So we're going to have 11 of these hats. We're calling these founder hats because we've actually changed our logo to something more like what you see in the top corner of the podcast. So it's not going to be, it's all reversed, backwards, man. It gets me in. But we've changed our logo. So these are going to be the founder hats. So there's only going to be the ones that we have. The 2 other ones, we did give one away on our lives. You never know what you're going to find on our lives. If you join our lives, you might win race memorabilia, lug nuts, even hats. But we don't plan on ordering these things again. So we're going to put these up for sale. We'll let y'all know when it gets closer as far as all the particulars and as well as our shop. But yeah, this is going to be a very, very limited thing. And have a chance to own what we call the Origin hat. And it really is going to help support us. Plus, it starts us working with a manufacturer to where we can grow that with them and show them that, hey, we can get quality merch, sell quality merch, and you can trust us, kind of thing. So be on the lookout. It's coming soon.
Yep. So there will be a website, and in the very near future, we will make an announcement on all of our socials, TikTok, everything.
Yep.
About the website. And they're unfortunately not going to be cheap because obviously we have to have very limited orders of them anyways. We're paying this out of pocket to start with. So again, they're not cheap, but they are worth it. They are a quality hat as well.
Yes.
So like David said,
I swear
we're gonna be doing some giveaways as well. Stay tuned because we have an interesting one coming up here as well.
Very, very interesting one as well, because not only are we going to have the hat, we might have something else for sale shortly too. And that's all I'll say about that.
Yeah. Just have to stay quiet about that.
Yeah. But we're super excited, guys. Thank y'all so much for those that have supported us through the lives and through our TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, wherever you're watching us from. We really do appreciate it. If you, like I said, Kanga Coolers, they're a big supporter of ours. They're one of our first sponsors we ever had. So we definitely want to continue to do what we're doing. We also posted a video. If you haven't looked at our YouTube channel, obviously this is where this is going to be at right now. But on YouTube, we also made a bus tour video. So go check that out. A lot of people ask us about the bus, what it looks like inside and out. And so you got to go check out that video. We do a full walkthrough. There are changes that will be made eventually. But the good thing is now that we are doing YouTube, we're going to vlog it. So go, make sure y'all are subscribed, not only for the podcast here, but also our extra content that we're going to have.
Yeah. We've got a lot of content we have to go through in the next week, possibly longer than that. So just stay up to date on our socials, guys, because we're gonna have some really, really cool stuff coming out. But as soon as we get some of that stuff all edited up, we'll get it pushed out.
Yeah. And now that we kind of got through all that, got through all the pieces, make sure y'all are hitting the like button. Make sure you're subscribing if you don't already do so. And let's get into our picks for COTA. So, who you got? Let's start with Truck Series. Who you got?
Kyle Busch.
Of course you do. You're going Kyle Busch. I'm going with another Cup Series guy that's going to be racing in trucks. I'm going with Bowman. I mentioned it earlier. He finished second in Cup last year. I think he can do it. So I'm going to go with Bowman for trucks. What about Xfinity? Who you got for Xfinity?
Xfinity. Oh my. Chandler Smith.
Okay, Chandler Smith. That one hurts because that's what I was thinking. I think I'm going to go with Zane. I'll go with Zane for this one. I think he can do well. He hasn't done.
Is Zane racing the Xfinity race?
So what?
Is Zane racing the Xfinity race?
Sorry, I don't know. I was thinking Zane. John Hunter Nemechek for Xfinity. I was thinking back over because that was going to be my choice before I found out Bowman was going to be.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah.
No.
So
hold on. I can tell you who your pick needs to be. Chandler Smith's teammate.
No. Not for this one.
Are you sure? Because AJ Allmendinger's in the 10 car this weekend.
That's tough. That is tough. He came in. He won last year. Oof,
Ty Gibbs is racing this weekend as well.
Who is?
Ty Gibbs.
Yeah, but I hope they punt him.
Oh, so, yeah. Mm-hmm. I agree.
Yeah, I just hope they punt him. I'll go with AJ or Nemechek. Nemechek's my main pick just because that was my original check.
I have a dark horse pick for Xfinity race as well.
Who's your dark horse?
Parker Kligerman.
It depends if Weatherman takes him out or not.
That's true too.
It's all the men.
All the men lost.
Are having some rough times out there in the Xfinity series.
Holy shit! You know who's racing the 08 car for SS Greenlight? Eric Almirola. Yeah, that's what I said. How long has it been since Almirola ran an Xfinity race?
Did he run a single one last year?
I haven't seen him in an Xfinity car
in years.
I gotta look this up.
That's got to be at least 2 years for Almirola. Do your thing, Mr. Computer Man.
Wikipedia will be my friend on this.
Please stay by.
His last race was in 2018 at Watkins Glen in the Xfinity Series.
2018.
Is that 5 years?
Interesting. Yeah, so that'll be fun because those cars are squirrely. So I don't know how he's going to do there, honestly.
Yeah, this Xfinity roster is actually pretty.
Well, they got to compete with freaking the Cup Series roster.
Yeah, I mean, you got Cole Custer, obviously.
Yeah. I don't have him winning this one.
I don't either, but I mean, he's a Cup experienced guy. So we're just talking about Cup drivers. Cole Custer, the guys that have like actual Cup experience, and I'm not talking like fill-in starts like Allgaier. I mean, Allgaier did have some Cup experience, but that's long ago.
Yeah.
So Cole Custer, Eric Almirola, Josh
So,
Berry, you could kind of throw in there. Allmendinger,
can he get his first win?
Ty Gibbs.
Maybe. That's a lot of people. I don't know. I'm gonna stick with my Nemechek. But if it's not
Junior
Nemechek,
Motorsports
definitely.
is running 5 cars this weekend too.
Are they?
Yeah. Miguel Paludo is in the 88.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Very.
They'll end up all wrecking each other if it keeps going like it's been.
I don't know what's going on with those guys. They're like magnets.
They love hitting each other. It's crazy. All right, let's move on to Cup. Who do you got winning Cup? I'm starting it off actually, and I'm going with the dark horse pick straight off the bat. I'm going with Jordan Taylor.
Really?
Yep.
Jordan Taylor.
Yep.
Um,
He's either going to get punted by Ross or he's going to win.
Man, this is a tough pick.
There's a lot of good drivers. A lot. Raikkonen, you can't count him out. If he gets destroyed by his own teammate again like last year.
This is tough because I really don't. I don't know who to pick for this. Allmendinger. Allmendinger. Allmendinger's going to win it. It's not going to be an upset either because Allmendinger's now won very recently in the Cup Series, and he's full-time this year. But I think it's going to get that first road course win out of the way.
Yep.
That's going to take a lot of the stress and everything off for him because he'll be in the playoffs. And because of that, he's going to be even more dangerous coming up in road courses. And I have one more little road course tidbit of information for you that it's obviously been announced, but I think it may be forgotten.
What you got?
No stage breaks.
Yeah. Yo,
we have stages.
Awesome.
We have stages and stage points, but no stage breaks.
And there's actually another thing too. They shortened the restarts back. Restarts are back to 2022. They've listened to the drivers, they've listened to the fans. Nobody liked it, and so it didn't do what they thought it was going to do, and they're going back to last year's restart zones as well.
Good on NASCAR too for doing that because they could have just been like, this is the new way of doing it, and they actually listened to the drivers and what their opinions were on it. So, I mean that wreck at Fontana, that was directly from that long restart zone.
Exactly.
I know what they were trying to do. They were trying to mix it up, and they were trying to.
They were trying to make it more competitive. I mean, the drivers wanted it originally, but then the drivers were like, "Hey guys, this isn't working."
But how else are you going to know until you actually put it in real competition? So kudos for NASCAR for trying it. I give them a pat on the back, and I give them a pat on the back and give them an A+ for realizing that it was not working. And fixing it.
Now
making the change.
I just remembered there's actually another new change to this course as well. Turn 11. That's where the choose is going to be.
Turn 11.
That's where they announced the choose was going to be at COTA. So road courses are now, basically every course now has choose. And from what I understand, it's going to be right there at turn 11 at COTA. And so that's going to be a new thing as well. So we'll see how that is.
So that's right before the very long backstretch.
Yes.
So that makes sense.
Yes.
Because I think what they'll end up doing, because since there is now choose cone or choose rule at road courses, because road courses are so long, so if there is a caution flag and they have to throw the caution, what's the length on COTA? Let's say it's like 3 miles or something like that. You don't want to run 3 miles under caution just to come back and choose and then have to run a full lap under caution after choosing, because now they can choose on the backstretch and then go to green.
Now, I don't know how well that's going to work for spotters. Hopefully, I mean, they're going to have to use their binoculars, obviously.
Well, they have 3. They normally have 3 spotters.
Yeah, and set up in different spots. But I don't know if they have a spotter right there. I don't know where all the spotters are.
I'm sure they do because there's that bridge there on that long backstretch after turn 11. And I'm pretty sure that's where one of the spotter stands are. So they'll be able to know.
Yeah, that'd be good then. But that, I mean, you add all this together. There's a lot of new rules. There's also, like
I
we
didn't
talked
know
about
that
earlier.
about the choose turn 11. So
Yeah,
thank you for filling me in on that.
yeah. So I mean, we do obviously with our TikTok stuff. We do a lot of the NASCAR news. So I try to keep up with a lot of those things. But there's a lot of new stuff for this race. I mean, like we talked about everything earlier, as well as the new aero package for these road courses. So I mean, this is gonna be a lot for the Cup drivers to figure out. And then you add in all the star-studded cast. This
I
could be
have very high expectations for this weekend, and I hope they aren't disappointed. I don't think they're going to be. I think it's going to be a really competitive, great race. The last two races at Coda have been great. Um, Probably one of my favorite tracks right now on the circuit. To be honest, I didn't think I was going to like it being an F1 track, but it's really fitted this car very well.
the one I want to come back, but due to the fact that we know that Fontana is not going to be next year, is Road America. That was the one that I want to come back.
Yeah, I was the same way about Road America as well. I wasn't a huge fan of it when it was just Xfinity, but now that when with Cup running it for those 2 or 3 years, I thought it was
I enjoyed it.
probably one of the better road course races as well. I know that there's a lot of fans that have kind of NASCAR fans are so
Wishy
gosh, they're
washy.
so tiring because before we had 7 road courses on the circuit, and we only had 2. The fans were like, "We need more road courses. We need more short tracks." Well, okay, we added road courses, and now we're up to 7 road courses. We got too many road
Too
courses.
many
We got to
road
take these road
courses.
courses away. There are too many of them. Well, then Road America gets taken away. No, you can't do that. We're going to Chicago street course race. You can't be doing that. So, NASCAR fans, y'all are
Be
tiring.
better. Be better.
Be
Stop.
better.
Stop being what you're doing.
Yeah, you got to
Yeah.
stop.
Yeah. Just stop it. Just stop it. Now the only thing I wish that NASCAR would stop is all the high ticket prices. Oof.
Telling
But
me.
uh, but yeah, so I think that just about wraps up this weekend's podcast. What do you think?
I think so. We're reaching about 50 minutes here, so
Yeah,
we can wrap it up here. We got our picks in for Coda this weekend. I'm excited about this weekend. You're excited about this weekend.
100%.
And then next month, we'll be at Bristol.
Next month starts a very busy, basically month timeline. So
Yeah.
obviously we have Bristol Dirt, and then a couple weeks later we have Darlington, and then a couple weeks later then we have Charlotte. So we have a lot of upcoming events for us. We'll be getting prepared for. We'll be filling y'all in along the way. We'll be having fun along the way, and we can't wait to share all this with y'all. Make sure y'all stay tuned, keep tuning in and watching these things. It really helps us, and it shows us the appreciation. But blow up the likes, hit the subscribe if you don't already, and if you ain't got nothing else,
Yeah. Like you said, blow up the like, subscribe to us. Stay tuned because I'm telling you, we have an
a lot.
amazing giveaway that you will have to be tuned into our socials for.
Yep.
This giveaway is fire. We haven't even done a giveaway yet, and this one is fire.
Yep. This will be our first one, and we're starting off on a very high note here.
How do we even top it? How do we top it from here?
I don't know how we're going to top it. We'll have to discuss that and figure it out later. Because that will be interesting how we get bigger than what we're about to do. So, y'all stay tuned. Make sure that you're subscribed. Make sure that you're following all the socials. And until next time, see ya.
Bye.